Hey there, welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting. I'm DJ Impact, and we got here Matt Michael, Simon Street, and Sin City Steve. And welcome everyone to Wrestling Talk. And we welcome you to put all of your uh, information or into the chat buttons of YouTube Live, Facebook Live, or Twitter. And we will try to, or Twitch, I should say, and we'll try to get that information on the screen and talk about it, see what you got to say. So anyway, we welcome everyone for joining us. I mean, sometimes guys, right before we go live, we just start talking about wrestling. We got to quickly go, let's just start the show so we can talk about wrestling. So that's kind of what we did today. Let's get right into it with our four-way stop. All right. I always love starting off first with Sin City. Steve, man, tell me, what highlights did you have from this past week?
Well, this week's episode of Dynamite centered around blood and guts. Well, yeah, that's what they gave you. The Elite, the Blackpool Combat Club, and Friends. Yeah, talking about Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and Kota Ibushi. His second match in about 2 years. And anyway, the Blackpool Combat Club and Friends, as I mentioned, Moxley, Claudio, Yuta, Pac, and Takeshita. We had screwdrivers, forks, broken glass, thumbtacks, tables, thumbtack covered boots, and a bed of fucking nails in this match.
Yet only two people were bleeding, Moxley and Yuta.
Exactly. The match went for an hour. I mean, you had Pac and Takeshita walking out on them, leading to Moxley actually surrendering to save Wheeler Yuta's life because, he was being choked out from a chain and it wasn't going to end well. Elsewhere on the same show, we found out that it would be MJF and Adam Cole, imagine that, taking on FTR for the World Tag Team titles at Collision on July 29th. Quite the juxtaposition from Blood and Guts. This was complete. It was a complete comedy match, complete with a fucking dance-off before the actual match started. Exactly. I mean, at least they kept it light before, all of the craziness from Blood and Guts. And, of course, they teased dissension after that match. Darby Allin won the Royal Rumble Battle Royal, whatever the fuck it is,
that was
on Rampage. And he gets yet another TNT title shot. So at least the finish to that was interesting. I mean, I hadn't seen that one in particular before. So
yeah.
All right. Simon Street, what you got, man?
Well, I got a lot of G1 Classic. I had almost a week off from work. So I decided to partake in that of the G1 Classic. And let me tell you, that's a lot of goddamn wrestling, man. But it was fun. I'm only going to mention just today because that's what's fresh in my mind. I was able to watch it just before getting on the show. And, first off, Aaron Henare versus Eddie Kingston. All right, I know you two schmucks up there because I'm seeing y'all two schmucks don't give a shit about Eddie Kingston. But Eddie Kingston looks comfortable and at home. I'll just put it that way. His wrestling style matches great with strong style and all the alike. And he is basically quintessentially I would say the Cinderella story. Everybody's kind of counting him out, and he's doing well so far. And that match he had with Henare today, or at least when I watched it, man, was really, really good. The end finish was pretty funny. Aaron Henare hit him with a spin kick in the head, and about to fall out. Eddie Kingston turned around, hit him with a back fist. He got knocked out. Eddie Kingston landed on top of him, 1, 2, 3. Eddie woke up. He's like, oh, what the fuck happened? I won? Okay, cool. Let's do it. My charge. So that was a good one. My boy, Zack Sabre Jr. beat the shit out of a strong-ass motherfucking Alex Coughlin. That dude is strong as shit. But, Mr. Sabre went ahead and had him tap out like the rest of them. And, y'all two schmucks. You're going to know about a guy named David Finlay one day. We're just going to keep talking about it until it happens.
What do you mean know about a David Finlay?
I don't know. You never talk about him. So
how fucking stupid are you?
Impact. He's taking 5 seconds. I got. Add on 5 seconds. All right. So anyway, last but not least, all I got to say is NXT. D'Angelo is back. Not D'Angelo. Angelo is back. It's really cool. I like how they did a review on basically talking about how Stacks came up with this whole plan the whole time to fool Gallus. It was freaking awesome. I had as many as I want. I shut up. Don't count. Anyways, NXT was not a great show. I'll talk about that later. But that was a highlight because if you are from a culture where somebody was locked up for a long time, you throw a party. And the cool thing was, big shout outs. There was a segment in the back where D'Angelo, or actually up in the front, D'Angelo kind of told your boy, Dom, he said, hey, man, the guys from the yard said, what's up? Shit was funny. That was my highlights, y'all. Thank you so much, Mr. Michaels and Mr. Impact. You schmucks.
All right. No more Collision for you, okay? Out of all the wrestling this week, it was today's Collision. That was your highlight. All right. We'll work with it. Matt Michaels, what you got?
I will say that Cody's speech was great to kick off Raw, especially with his mom there, and have Lesnar beat the fuck out of Cody in front of his mom was just beautiful. I love that. Gunther versus Riddle puts on a great match, those two again, and Gunther's post speech calling himself basically the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever. Gunther is on fire. That man is, he's gold. Just print fucking money with the guy. Sonya and Chelsea are the new tag team champions in the women's division, which, they had to set up their Raquel versus Rhea. So dump the belts onto Sonya and Chelsea, and let's see if the women's tag titles have any value. Io versus Charlotte was a beautiful match. Santos versus Theory was a great match. Although I don't know why you have Santos go over Theory before you have him do the number one contenders match, which is a whole nother stickler for later. And MJF and Adam Cole at a Chinese restaurant was how you actually do entertaining wrestling. And then you do the fucking match with the ridiculous. See, that's the problem. You already had the fucking comedy bit. It was great. It was solid. And then you just proceed to do more. And you had the backstage interview, which was entertaining. Why do you do it in the fucking match? That makes no sense. Mm-hmm. They can't have their cake and eat it too. They just have their cake sometimes, or sometimes they eat it, or sometimes they can eat it.
Yeah.
Do I get my 5 seconds?
Do you want to eat it? We'll give you 5 seconds to eat it.
All right. I can't wait to get to the WTS for this week. I'm going to have to give y'all 3 minutes because it's like y'all have a lot to speak about. But before we get there, let's go right into the Too Sweet for the week. All right, this is you, Simon Street. You up first, man. What was the Too Sweet for you?
Well, for me, Too Sweet for the week is going to go for the Judgment Day. Not only Monday Night Raw, NXT, even though the blunder, we now have a new North American champion in Dom. Mm-hmm. And, and the same thing with the title defense against Butch on SmackDown. Judgment Day is showing their dominance in the best way that they possibly can, utilizing 4 members to their capacity of like a mix of Skittles, right? Like they all do the same schmucky shit, but at the same time, they do it a little bit differently. Maybe Skittles isn't the best way because, but you get my point. My point is they're a bag of mixed nuts and it's funny as fuck. There you go. That's my Too Sweet for the week.
Oh. Okay.
You can have that extra 55 seconds, Matt Michaels, or wherever's going next.
All right. So you know what? You give a man a whole week of PTO and he just takes off. He's on cloud 9. Sin City Steve, man. Well, actually, you know what? Hold off. Let me go to you, Matt Michaels. What was your too sweet?
Yeah, we gotta give as John says, a Emmy for Jey Uso and his SmackDown promo, which is on fire again. They're firing on all cylinders, but I agree. Not just Judgment Day in general, but man, Dirty Dom is proving his fucking worth now. And who the fuck thought anybody would ever say those words that Dominic Mysterio is worth a fuck? It's unbelievable. You gave him a fucking stupid gimmick, and that line when Tony D says to him, Benny the Bumper says hi, was fucking brilliant. It just was like it, and you just wanted it too when you saw him coming. And you wanted him to stop and say something about being in the pen to the guy who was in the pen. And it was accepted too. It was like, and then Tony D says good luck to him. So they also made it a gray area where Tony D, they're fucking faces, but he's telling a fucking heel, go out there and have a great match. It's unbelievable how they're doing these things so subtly and make it feel natural. That tag match that Priest and Dom had on Raw against KO and Sammy was excellent. The match against Wesley, again, Wesley proves why he's fucking got everything. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see him on the main roster. And boy, I mean, Dom held his own against fucking Butch on SmackDown. Yeah. And it also goes to show that they're able to defend the titles on the different shows without making you go, what's an FTW title worth? The North American title means something because you're elevating it onto the main roster.
Yeah, that's a good point out. Sin City, man, what you got?
All right, so Athena and Willow Nightingale, they had an amazing match on Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view on Friday night. Mm-hmm. Some people have said some pretty outlandish things, saying that it's one of the better women's matches of any promotion this year. I will allow you as a viewer to make that determination on your own. I can say it was extremely well done. Yeah, I would say that it's up there for sure. Mm-hmm. Athena retains. Willow passes out in front of a hometown audience. Yeah, solid stuff there. CM Punk, Darby Allin, Ricky Starks, Christian Cage wasn't a match that I knew that I wanted until I got it, and I was very happy that I did by the end of the match. It was a 25-minute main event match. There were a couple of timing issues here and there. I know that Punk is still trying to get his legs under him, getting used to getting back into the ring. But realistically, this is how you should be using your established name talent by being in the ring with Punk and Christian. Darby and Ricky, they get better. They get more of a rub as a result of that. Very solid stuff. Will Ospreay and Kenta had an absolute banger of a match at night 5 of the Q1 Classic Climax tournament. Excuse me. It was a 14-minute match. It was going crazy. And Ospreay ended up picking up the win with the Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we've sat here, we've talked a lot of shit about AEW and, their storytelling, them actually making people want to invest in characters and storylines. Mm-hmm. Well, I've definitely noticed a trend as of late. They're starting to produce more video packages. They're starting to get people to actually invest in characters. It's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take a lot of work, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that they are at least trying with those vignettes.
Okay. Good stuff. Let's get into our WTF. Let's do it. All right. Let's start with you, Mr. Matt Michaels. What do you got?
I will say that having Mysterio go over instead of LA Knight in the number one contenders match is it's just baffling because now you're stuck. You have Mysterio versus Santos, which, okay, Mysterio could win and then face Theory to give Theory a little bump. Theory could do something horrible to Mysterio, maybe, and then Santos eventually challenges him for the belt. But at the same time, Mysterio can job out to Santos and put him over because of the LWO. But Santos just beat Theory, so there's no sense in him going on to a championship match and losing the match. So it right now makes no sense. Steve, what the fuck was that Jungle Boy? What was he burying? What was that?
I'll talk about that as well here in just a minute.
Because I'm so lost on whatever the fuck that was. His music now being Beethoven, and it has nothing to do with his actual character. The match was really fucking boring as far as I'm concerned. Just kind of awful. It was like watching two high school students, one who kind of grows facial hair to kind of look like he needs a fake ID, and the other just being the clean cut kid. It was one of the worst ref bumps I've ever seen in my life. Just awful shit. Blood and guts. The biggest problem with that fucking thing was picture in picture, and then during picture in picture, commercials full screen. That's a fucking pay-per-view match. What are they fucking doing giving that shit away on free TV? It makes no sense. Make it a fucking continuous yearly pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's frustrating, especially because, again, you're looking at a match in which guys are going to bleed the shit out of themselves, and you're giving away on free TV. I just don't understand it. I also don't understand Billy Gunn taking off his boots and everyone just kind of being like, so what? Like the whole crowd reaction was just like, he's done? Maybe? What the fuck? Christian Cage should have taken off his boots too, because by far I'm done with that fucker. Get rid of him.
Wow. All right.
I don't know if I want to see Christian Cage with the turtleneck on with no shoes on. That just looked a little too comfortable for the ring for me.
And by the way, on our 3 count later tonight, which is the our show right after this one, we're going to talk a little bit about LA Knight. So, make sure you hop back on when we get off of Wrestling Talk, so we can you can join that as well. Sin City Steve, man, I'm giving you 3 minutes too, man. What you got?
All right, so Jungle Boy is dead. Long live Jack Perry. I guess. Baltimore's Tarzan Boy has been replaced by Beethoven's Fifth. Why? I hope we'll find out. I hope we'll find some sort of fucking reasoning behind that. And then get this, he wrestles for an unofficial title, and they're treating it like it has value. They continue to do this with the FTW title. And I'm going to say this as a former Taz mark from the Beat Me If You Can, Survive If I Let You days, okay? Dude, this, I don't know why this title is on TV. Why they're considering it an unofficial championship. I've never understood that, and I've always had a problem with it.
And now he's on commentary while that title is being defended by his kid, and there's no sense of, there's just a little hint of like Taz coming back and like, I wish you didn't get me on camera crying, but he didn't say anything about that belt. Like, it's his fucking belt. Why doesn't he just take it from the guy?
Exactly. And I'm hoping that Jack Perry can find his heel voice, or you know, that he comes into his own as a heel or whatever the fuck we want to say. But I mean, dude, anything's got to be better than what he was doing as a babyface toward the end. Anything. So we'll see what happens. And I will say this too. I swear to God, every single week, it seems like there's something that gets fucked up on AEW programming, you know, whether it's a camera not catching a spot or, you know, catching things at desired angles or, you know, the numerous audio issues. They really, really need to get things freaking honed in. They had a botch with a camera catching Pac doing the repel from the ceiling of the cage with a foot stomp through the table. So they had to go back and they had to show it in a fucking replay spot. Elsewhere, Collision. This was the most egregious. Oh my God. So there's absolutely no reason for the camera crews to cut away from Jay White, who has Action Andretti poised for the Blade Runner. He's posing in front of the camera. What does production do? They send it off into a shot of Juice Robinson throwing fucking Darius Martin through the ropes. You miss the fucking finish itself, and then you have to go back and show the fucking finish because they decided, oh, well, yeah, throwing someone out of the ring matters more than the finish of this match. What the fuck, guys? What the fuck?
Man, good stuff. I'll tell you this, Simon Street, before I jump over to you, when I watched Raw and saw that there was going to be this Viking Raiders match in the front of a boat, I said, is Vince McMahon back? I was like, he must be back. Like Triple H took the night off and Vince finally was able to, and great camera angle, right? That they actually show the screen, which is water, and then they just move the camera back and forth as if By the way, it was an entertaining match. It was great, right? But still, it was like, for real? I just never seen that before. I mean, they literally put the boat so it matched. It was a stage. Okay, all right. It is what it is. Simon Street, WTF.
Look, man, as if you were plucking thoughts from my head. That's where I was leading on my WTF. First and foremost, if we knew the Viking Raiders needed to get a dub against Viking rules, which was not explained at all. No one knows what the fucking rules were.
They said they got the rules.
I guess not. Well, whatever it was, but they got the dub, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That's the start off my WTF. It was very well explained what would happen come SummerSlam between Jey Uso and the Tribal Chief. That's what the Viking Raiders needed to do at the beginning of the match. Let me move on. First and foremost, NXT. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of what the fucks. Can we be done with Gigi Dolan and Kiana James? Can we please be done? Please. These grievous back and forths are fucking annoying. Although I would love Kiana James to immediately be on the roster immediately. I'm so happy when she gets up there. Another thing is Axion in scripts. That whole little thing made no freaking sense. The only shining light out of that whole freaking situation is the tag team of Bronco Nima and Lucian Prince. Those two big street brothers, they're gonna cause some damage if they keep, on the right path. Again, I want to talk about Hook or Jungle Boy, whatever the hell his damn name is, Jack Perry, whatever, FTR champion. I'm sorry, guys, I got to echo the sentiment. I want Jack Perry to go back to that hole he buried his old self in, take the FTR championship, bury that motherfucker in there because I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired about it, and I don't even understand the whole purpose of it. Another thing that I didn't quite understand for the whole goddamn Raw, and I'm pulling up my notes, y'all, because I'm telling you it's coming today. Already talked about that. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Stop teasing me, WWE. Stop teasing me. Okay? I've been so geeked up in wanting to see Raquel Gonzalez versus Rhea Ripley. If y'all don't give me this after this poor, tall-ass, strong back woman, Gonzalez come back from the knee injury, now that she ain't got no championship, Y'all better put on a damn good match. There's so much story in the background. I'm scared now and nervous and anxious because WWE's going to fuck it up. I feel like they are. You know how much history is between Rhea Ripley? Yeah, it's my what the fuck, okay? You want to be part of my what the fuck, Mr. Michaels? You want to be part of my what the fuck? All right. Anyways, so please don't tease me, WWE. Please don't tease me. I really, 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 really want to know. And yes, responding to John, what the fuck to NXT not calling Scripps Reggie? Come on, HBK. The only thing that's left for Reggie right now is for him, probably, here we go. Him, Ricochet, Dana Brooke, and the other little flippy bitch that was doing gymnastics. Let's do something you're good at. Dress them up as Power Rangers, put them on Halloween Havoc, and have them do flips for Simon Street. I'll shut the fuck up for a whole week. What the fuck?
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's see what y'all are looking forward to. All right, Sin City Steve, man, what are you looking forward to, man?
All right, so previously I had made mention of the G1 Climax tournament. Yeah, it's in full swing. July 26th, Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston. Yeah, that should be a fucking slugfest.
Yeah.
The 27th, Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay. That should be amazing as well. Two matches I'm definitely looking forward to for very different reasons. And, you know, they've done a really good job this year with the G1 of grouping guys with similar styles in the groups and then throwing one or maybe two wild cards in there that are completely different but can still make the blocks work. So very interesting format this year. It's kept my attention through the 6 nights of it so far. I really need to start seeing some booking for this All In and All Out cards. You know, I mean, what All In is a month away at this point, and there's nothing even lined up whatsoever. So,
yeah,
AEW, TK, let's get it going. Let's get this shit booked. You know, if you're waiting for Death Before Dishonor to pass by, it's done. So now let's focus on booking the big shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Did you just say he should book the big show?
Oh Lord, no!
Please don't. Please.
Oh God,
Captain
no!
Insano, baby.
The big shows.
All right, let me go over to you, Matt Michaels. Tell me, what are you looking out for?
I'm looking out for Thea Hale turning into Ken Shamrock with the snap she's been doing. It's fucking amazing. God damn, those two together, Stratton and Thea. Man, it's just fucking gold. And you know, to have the kind of the spoiled brat and the over enthusiastic, coked up cheerleader, it's beautiful. I'm also looking out for Oscar nominations. Oscar nominations for Tony D and Stax for setting up Gallus and Joe Coffey and giving us the whole reveal. It was fucking great that the whole time they were in it together, and we got to see exactly them saying that. And apparently no one in the film crew leaked the footage to Joe Coffey to let him know that they were really being set up. So kudos for everyone keeping their mouths shut and allowing it to happen. But the biggest look out of all is the American Nightmare documentary on 7/31 on Peacock, July 31st. That's going to be something else. It's amazing. AEW, you had a fucking show, his own fucking reality show. And nothing on that show looks anything as fucking hyped and wonderful as this thing, which just goes to show the difference in between knowing what you're doing and not knowing what you're doing, and just, you know, having a network say, oh my God, we want a fucking show with Cody Rhodes, and then, you know, just having nothing happen with it. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Simon Street.
Kind of echo the sentiments of Matt Michaels, man. I'm really excited for the 31st, man. I do want to see that Cody Rhodes documentary. I think it's something that I think we're all invested on. And that trailer is gold. I mean, the list of people that are having interviews and chiming in, it's pretty huge. I'm interested to see what's going to happen of how much is he going to be off the script, or however you want to put it, on the fallout when he did leave. I hope that they take the gloves off. Outside of that, SummerSlam, for going in, because I'm not huge on Detroit being the place, but cars are cool. But SummerSlam, yay. I'm actually buying into it now. The matches are stacking up, and I'll actually be entertained. Maybe if they ever do, the Motor City, I may go again. No disrespect to anybody who is from Detroit or anything. Don't slap me like the guy did on the video who's washing his hands and the guy trying to do the video and slapped him from Detroit, Michigan. You don't know who the hell you fucking with. Other than that, man, I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with LA Knight. Now, I am maybe a little different of the mindset. I was excited that he is not going to go ahead and take the United States title or be in the picture. That leads me to believe there's something bigger waiting. And I'm hoping that, it does work out. I believe it will be. And I think that probably closer to the Rumble, we'll see LA Knight get its dues. But for right now, everybody get hyped up on the fumes because they about to lay the match and LA Knight is going to be on fire.
All right. Let's get right into what is the best in show for the week. All right. Best in show for you, Matt Michaels.
I'll go with Raw. It was again, continuously a good show for 3 hours, which again is a hard thing to do. It's starting to, give that shape to SummerSlam. So
yeah,
that makes it a little more enjoyable when you're starting to see where everything seems to be heading. But it was a good week all around for Raw and SmackDown and NXT, and the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, of course. I mean, that was spectacular. If you watched it, so I'm assuming that it was just amazing.
Okay, you're probably right. But we'll just go with that. Let me go over to you, Simon Street. Best in show.
I'm definitely going to go and say, so far from what I've been able to watch this week, G1 Climax. Almost all of the matches I really thoroughly enjoyed. Some of the people that, because I don't keep up with the product all the time, I was great. And then looking at the schedule upcoming got me excited. I want to see how the hell Zack Sabre Jr. going to get freaking your boy Cobb to tap out on something. I mean, those are good matches. And as Sin City Steve a little bit earlier, the booking on the matches, some of them are like, you're scratching your head like, okay, I don't know how this is going to work out. And everybody's getting a good amount of time, and it's just really good. So I would say best in show this week for Simon Street, G1 Climax.
For some reason, I thought you were just going to say that, man. So I was right.
Were y'all making bets? And when did the bets start? Before my light-skinned ass got on the show?
Let's go to you, Sin City, man. Best in show.
All right. So, earlier on in the night, I talked about the Will Ospreay and Kenta match at G1 Night 5 from July 21st. That match was the centerpiece to a great night of wrestling. Gabe Kidd and Ren Narita, two young lions that are just starting to find themselves in their wrestling careers, went out and they had no joke, a solid 5-minute standing strike session, and they were beating the fucking shit out of each other. It was glorious. Also, Shota Umino and Kaito Kiyomiya went to a 20-minute time limit draw. Again, two really, really great young stars. The future is definitely bright for all those guys. And yeah, as a result of all of that, my best in show was New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax Night 5. The best show of the entire tournament thus far, and the best thing on TV this week.
Wow. I guess I chose the wrong wrestling to watch this past week. I mean, we got two guys that said Collision. Man, Michaels, we got it wrong. We'll get it right. Is it more Collision next week?
No, this is the G1 Climax.
G1 Climax.
Okay.
Collision is AEW.
It's New Japan Wrestling. It's not even AEW.
My bad.
Hey, Impact. The Collision happens after you climax.
Hey, ooh, I appreciate that. I knew it was one of them. All right, y'all. It is time
to get back to watching Impact Wrestling, at least.
Hey, hold on. I got a new one. First, you get the Impact, then you get the Climax, and then you get the Collision, and you're done.
Well, you have to do it all raw.
This is right. And then, in between, you can slap that SmackDown. And then you could ask who's next.
Exactly.
Never know. The next one might be Dynamite. But just be careful. Use protection and lots of lube because it might be Rampage.
Oh.
Well, hey, man. You're forgetting the Cock Ring of Honor.
This is right.
I had this happen to me once before and I couldn't get out of the show because you guys kept going. So I'm just going to just end it.
Impact, why are you sweating like you ate some spicy food?
And I'm going to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Jump right back on as we end the show because we got 3 good topics. If you're watching us live here, you see what those topics are from the scroll below.
It's definitely streaming on the Max
Cock. Hey, you never know, man. If you stream on Max Cock, you might get a chance to see that peacock.
You know what? No, if it does stream on Max, then it would be the Max Cock Ring of Honor, right? If you put it on Peacock or on Max or interesting.
Well, I tell you what, man, that footage right there is definitely made for Prime Video.
All right. Peace, y'all.